Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys, because I am delighted to say that I'm fully back now from my break. I've also been having some internet problems over the past few days which has delayed me even further, and I'm also still in the process of renovating the room where I record, but I am here, and we are going to get down to business. We are going to get down to the hard work. And I thank you all for your patience and all of your incredible support. And I can't wait now to crack on with the uploads, because this should be a really exciting time for Barca, for all of us here now over the next few months. What changes are we going to see? What are we going to see start to take shape under Hansi Flick? And today we're going to be talking all about the latest Barca news, with him at the centre point of it all. There's a lot to discuss, so let's get to it. Come on. Because let's first of all start with some news on Ansu Fati, because he has been speaking to the media over the past few days, guys, and he's been speaking really passionately, very strongly there, ahead of the coming season and ahead of returning, of course, to Barca from Brighton. He's been speaking there about the hopes that he has, and also giving some insights into what's gone on over the past year or so, because when speaking there about leaving Barca, going away on loan, he said there, "I felt that everything I did was not valued at the club," and he said that is why I decided I needed to change teams. I had to go away, I had to go out on loan. That is what I needed to do, because he didn't feel valued there under Xavi and indeed by the club over the past season. And he went on to say then that people think that I'm injured, they're always thinking that I'm injured, but he said I'm fine. He said I spend a lot of time in the gym, I'm doing my best to be in excellent shape, and I am 100% ready for Barca next season. I want to succeed at Barca. So Ansu Fati here, really clear, he wants to come back. He wants to make sure that he's a success in this team, and he feels as though in his body that he's ready to do that. He doesn't feel that he's injured, he is working hard, and he seems incredibly motivated here to show what he can do in a Barca shirt. And it was interesting as well then when he was speaking about Hansi Flick. He was asked about him as the new Barca coach, and he actually said, I did have a chance to meet him. He actually came to Brighton. I remember earlier on in the season there, Flick actually watched a game, and he said he came in one day to visit the club, and I greeted him then, and he said I wish him all the very best. He is coming to the best club in the world, and I'm sure that he will do very well. So Ansu there looking for a way in under Hansi Flick. But will he get that chance? Because what we also heard yesterday were big rumours about his future there, linking him with Sevilla. They're apparently really keen on him, really eager to get in this summer if they can. A few sacrifices would need to be made on all sides really to make it happen, but they've already called Barca apparently to talk about Ansu, which is interesting because that comes off the back there of Sevilla hiring Garcia Pimienta, of course, a man that we all know very well. He'd love to have Ansu at his club, but is that a move that can happen? Because you do feel as though pre-season is massive for Ansu Fati at Barca under Hansi Flick here. You feel as though that is going to be the crucial time for his whole Barca career there, because it's a chance for Ansu here to have a fresh start. He needs that. Many Barcelona players need that, but especially him. It's a big opportunity there under a new coach. We know that Xavi didn't really seem to rate him. You know, even when Ansu was providing some moments of quality, he was never able to stay in and around the team, and Ansu's going to have to show what he can do, and quickly as well. There's not going to be too much time here for him, but that pre-season period under Flick, a new coach coming in, you've got to shine and you've got to show your quality. I'm excited to see what he can do. Which, speaking of important moments there in Barcelona careers, let's talk now about Mikayil Faye, because this young man is a very talented young centre-back. We know all about him. We've spoken about him a lot here on the channel. We're all excited about him. We've got high hopes for him, but will he remain at the club beyond the summer? Because there were big rumours as well yesterday that Mikayil Faye could actually leave the club this summer. He could take the decision there to say, you know what, the time has come, I feel that I've got to go in order to get the football, in order to get the kind of growth that I am looking for. We know there's lots of clubs interested in him, we know there's lots of top level clubs interested, but I wouldn't read too much into this report right now. I would say on the face of it there, it's a bit concerning. It's not ideal, it's not really what you want to be hearing, but we've also heard in the media recently that nothing has really changed with Faye, that he wants to succeed here, he wants to break through, and he's still searching for that opportunity. And I think what we are seeing probably is some frustration. That's to be perfectly honest with you guys there, because I think certainly towards the end of the season, Faye would have expected, with the way that he was playing, with the way that he was looking, he would have thought, I'm going to get some minutes, I'm going to be in the squad, I'm going to get some first team chances. Nothing came his way. He was included in a few squad lists here and there, but he never got onto the field. He was never even given a look in, and I thought that was harsh. I thought that was really, really unfair on him there. So I can understand there a certain element of frustration. He didn't really get that chance under Xavi. But again here, guys, this is another player that will be thinking, there's a new coach in charge now. There's a new opportunity. There's a new chance for me to show what I can do. And it's the same situation here as Ansu in pre-season. I am sure that Mikayil Faye will get an opportunity, will get chances there to show Flick what he's made of. And those are the times that you've got to take. You've got to impress in those moments. Because I think here, guys, I want to see him succeed at the club. He does seem as though he's a big talent. It would be a shame to lose him. We've seen players in the past league Barça, young centre-backs as well, and then go elsewhere and really shine. I'm thinking of Todibo, didn't really get opportunities at Barça. We regret losing him now, maybe. He's worth a lot of money in today's game. So Mikayil Faye here, he's a top talent. We want to see the best of him, and he'll be looking as well for that chance under Hansi Flick. However, guys, if we do now move on to one player who maybe Hansi Flick is not really that interested in taking a look at, well, that would be Sergi Roberto. Because we spoke before about the fact there that Roberto's contract renewal was incredibly close. It looked on the verge of happening. But since Xavi's exit and since Flick's arrival at the club, things have become very, very different. This contract renewal right now is at a standstill, much to the surprise and dismay there of Sergi Roberto's camp. And what we're hearing right now is that Roberto is closer to leaving than staying at the club as it stands. Flick apparently has made it very, very clear, crystal clear to the club, that he doesn't count on Roberto. He doesn't really see him as part of his plans. And even if he was to stay, Flick has said, look, he will hardly play. There will be very few minutes for Roberto. So he's made it clear there, this renewal should not be a priority under any circumstances. And that is why it has not been finalised. The club are in real doubts right now. They're holding off on it. And it's interesting to see how quickly all of this has come to change. And I think personally, guys, here, letting Sergi Roberto go, would that just show to me a bit of a change inside of the club? Would that signal here a bit of intent? The feeling there that maybe we're going to strive for better. Maybe here we're not just going to keep going through the motions. We're not just going to keep continuing with the same group of players year upon year upon year, regardless of performance, regardless of results. Let's not make decisions here based upon sentiment. That's what I want to see here with Flick's arrival. Let's make decisions based on football, based on winning. That has to be the priority of everybody inside of the club. And in order to do that, you've got to make some big calls. And I already like here that Flick, he is putting his foot down. He is making it very clear early on to the club who he likes, who he doesn't like, what he wants, what he needs. He needs to be in control at this club, and he has to stamp his authority on this team. These are good early signs. Because speaking there about early signs from Hansi Flick, guys, why don't we talk about the man himself and some of the changes as well that he's looking to bring to the club as soon as he possibly can. And let's start there with the fact that apparently Flick is obsessed. That's the word the media there have used. He is obsessed with improving the physical conditioning, the physical aspect of this Barcelona team. That is one of the things that he has crystal clear in his mind. He needs to address that. He needs to do something about that very, very quickly. And I think that's something you've seen here before even arriving at the club. When he was looking at this Barcelona team from the outside, we've all seen it. We have all seen there needs to be real change on the training ground in terms there of preparation, in terms of fitness, the will and the hunger of this team. Flick has to bring all of that together. And again, I cannot wait to see this pre-season, because you just imagine what the players are going to go through here. Just imagine that Flick is going to put each and every one of them through their paces to get them ready, to get them prepared for the brand new season under him. That is what we want to see. That is what I cannot wait to see. But it's not even just that right now. I'm not just talking here about about the physical aspect, I'm not just talking here about the conditioning, but what I thought was really interesting here was the media talking, and what we've heard actually, that Flick wants to protect the players, protect the dressing room there, from the media themselves, by the way. He wants to keep the media out during his time at Barca, and as a result of that, he doesn't want any leaks, not one leak from inside of the club, from inside especially of the dressing room. And apparently he's going to warn each and every player, no leaks, no talking, no letting anything out. We keep things inside. Because Flick indeed is known as that kind of guy, that kind of coach that he does want to keep things in-house. He doesn't want to make a big show in the media. He doesn't want to be the star of the show, all the attention on him. And I don't think here he's going to give the media much to go on. He is not going to give them too much to really stoke the flames. And I just think here already, we have already seen signs of that. Because think about it here. Flick has arrived into Barcelona. He's then gone, signed his contract at the club. Then he's been officially announced as the new Barcelona coach, replacing Xavi. This is massive. This is absolutely enormous news. We have barely seen any sign of him. We have hardly seen photos. We've had one or two, a few photos there with the contract. Nothing else. Nothing about him in and around the club, in and around the city. We have barely even heard an interview from him. We've had very, very few words. And again, he's keeping everything low-key. He is keeping everything there behind closed doors. He doesn't want the media interfering in everything. And that is what we need at the club right now. Because I want to see us go back to the times where the media had to speculate, where they were coming here, as we do. We discuss things, we give our opinions, we talk about what might happen, what might be to come. But the idea is here that the media are not feeding on concrete information leaked from within the club. We do not want information to be passed directly to them from players, and indeed from the board as well. You've got to keep the media out, keep the pressure off as much as you possibly can, because I think there was times there under Xavi whereby maybe it was because he wanted it so badly, because of who he was, a Barcelona fan, a Barcelona legend. He felt as though maybe he had to give them more, he had to speak more there, he had to go more depth into things there, and he spoke honestly with his heart so many times. But the media preyed on every word, didn't they? Every quote that he gave them, every action. Xavi said after he left there that he couldn't work comfortably at the club. They pounced on everything he said, and you've got to keep the media out. Flick here, I think, has got the right approach. Keep them as far away as you can. You won't be able to get rid of them. They'll always be there, but don't give them anything to feed off. And we're already seeing that from our new coach. However, one thing you certainly will never be able to stop the media on is transfers. You're always going to get speculation. You're always going to get rumours on that. But again, rumours and speculation, they're fine. People can speculate. That is all good and well. But we just don't want them getting guaranteed information time after time. And what does Flick want here in terms of new signings at Barca? And the constant that we have heard right now is that he too wants and needs a defensive pivot. That is one thing that is clear in his mind. The team need it. Xavi saw it as well. We need a defensive pivot here. And of course that leads us to talk about Joshua Kimmich, who again, he is somebody we are starting to hear more and more about. And it was very predictable. He of course knows Flick very, very well. It's obviously a link there that is going to appear. Kimmich spoke recently about his future. He said again, it doesn't just depend on me. It's not just about what I want to do. What does the club want? He said, Bayern remain my first point of contact and talks will take place soon about my future. I still have 1 year left on my contract. And I'm thinking there that certainly, probably after the Euros is over, that's when you're going to get real decisions made, real talks taking place about futures. And that is when we may hear more concrete links there to somebody like Kimmich. But what we're also hearing in the media right now is that Flick has told Barca, those inside of the club, the board members, that he personally will do everything possible to convince Kimmich there to be talking to him. We know that Xavi actually held quite a few discussions apparently with Kimmich, and he was eager to join. He was happy there to come in maybe if Barca get the deal done. But Flick too will speak with him, especially with his personal experience with Kimmich. They know each other well, and he will really try to convince him there on the project and what he wants from him. And I'm just wondering what you make there of those Kimmich rumours that we keep hearing there, that he keeps being linked to the club, and especially now under Flick. Does that change anything for you regarding Kimmich there? Would you be more inclined to see him now in a Barca shirt, knowing that maybe Flick can get the best out of him, understands him, knows what kind of characteristics that he can bring, because at the same time, guys, we need somebody here with a real defensive nature about them, with an awareness, with an understanding. Because if we are going to keep Frankie and we're going to play him there as one of the pivots, you know, the other one has to do the defensive work. They've got to be able to sort of lead this team from a defensive standpoint. And is Kimmich that man? Is he the player that you would put your trust in? Is he somebody that can make that position work? And that is something that we're going to be talking lots more about. I want to know your thoughts on him right now, and I want to know your thoughts on everything that Hansi Flick is doing. What are the early signs? What are the early takeaways for you? And what are you most excited about this summer? What really does fill you with that excitement right now? Looking ahead to next season, we've got to kick on. We know what other people are doing. We know what other teams are doing. That puts more pressure on us. We must react. We must step up. And we must improve. Above all else, let me know your thoughts down below, guys. It is great to be back here properly on the channel. I will catch you soon with lots more now coming up soon for you. Thank you indeed for your great support. But until next time, as always, Vizca, El Barça.